Hello everybody, it is Jamer Gaming here again, and today we are going to talk about the indie game called Richard and Alice. So the game starts by talking about the snow, and I mean, it's as interesting as any conversation about the snow could be. And then BAM! This happens. We are thrust into a snow dystopian world. And then thrust into a prison. And a prison made for royalty at that. Look at that. An individual bathroom, nice comfy bed, computer, TV, luxury. So this dude's just, chilling on his couch in prison, watching TV in his nice luxury unit that he doesn't have to pay for. Other people are outside, struggling to survive in the snow and find food and stuff, while this guy, he's just chilling in here, living the life. And then, whoa, there's a chick! And then, as with most people you meet in prison, they're not really the nicest people, so she's a bit of a grump. And they go on to have a conversation that you'd imagine any conversation would be with a social person and a person that just does not give a heck about what the conversation is. And then for some reason it's so important for him to show her a picture of his family, so you gotta figure out how to get the picture over to her and stuff like that. So after an embarrassingly long time, you finally figure out how to get the picture over to her without breaking it. And then cue emotional conversation, as one has when thinking about family in dystopian times or prison times or whatever. And then the chick finally starts to open up, so we flash back to the beginning of her story, or maybe not the exact beginning, you get it. And then she and her son are in this room that's way lesser quality than the prison units. See, they don't even have beds here. And this is the first time that we see her son, Barney. And he loves to sing and dance and kazooie. And his mom doesn't get annoyed by it one bit. And then we find out that they're down there because some bad guy keeps them held down there, because why not? And then everything is good because they find out how to escape the man, and yay. And then we're back in prison, and she's sick of talking about it, so. And then the next day, the dude decides that he should take a shower because, the lady's over there. And it's cold! And then the chick wakes up, and, they just start talking for a while, and then, oh, we have another flashback. And then they find a dead animal, and, being a little boy, of course, Barney wants to play with it. And then they find a building and a gun, so they shoot the lock off of it so they could get inside, and there you go, you're inside now. And then after searching the house a little, Alice finds a mean-written letter. And then Alice finds the bathroom covered in blood, but I mean, the time of the month happens, And then we're back in the prison and Alice is hot. She tells Richard to put the AC on by messing with the thermostat, even though they're not supposed to, and in response to Richard's protests, she makes fun of him to get him to do it. Aw, poor Ickle Richie, woo. Richard finally finds enough materials to reach the thermostat, and he accidentally makes it way too cold, so there's that. And then Richard starts to become angry with Alice because she made him break the rules, so there's that. Some more conversation passes and we find ourselves in a flashback. While exploring the surrounding area, they find out about a gang that is not so friendly, so there's that. And then Alice goes and brings Barney to his father's grave. But it's not really his father's grave! Yeah, and the rest of the conversation is, just explaining to a kid about, death. And we're back in prison again. And they start thinking that they're gonna die because it's freezing in there now and they're starving, and none of the guards and stuff are attending to them, so. And then back to the flashback, and Barney's not doing so well. So Alice leaves in search for some medicine. In her search, she finds another nasty note pinned to a church. In the church, she found a ladder, and with the ladder, she was able to get a box that was in the middle of the lake, and in that box was a single bullet. She also uses that ladder to climb to the second floor that was blocked off in the house. It ended up being, a little bad. Just a couple dead people tied to some poles, but nothing really bad. Up there, she finds a note that's saying that there's some medicine in a bunker. She comes back downstairs just to find that the good-for-nothing kid threw up and made a mess. They then go into the church where Alice destroys a Mother Mary statue and then proceeds to blow it up. Turns out that blowing up statues of religious figures creates doors. And in the bunker that Mother Mary was hiding is another dead person! While Alice left her son unsupervised, she hears that some strange men enter the building and are talking to her son. The men start debating over, what to do with the kid, kill him or whatever. And a little later, one of the men says that his father would say, "Son, Brussels sprouts survive through the winter. Tomatoes turn to juice. Are you a tomato or a Brussels sprout?" That becomes important later! Eventually, the men realize that the kid's sick and figure that he would die soon anyway, so they don't bother killing him. Oh, and finding the medicine in the bunker was pointless because it's just insulin. Flash forwards back at the prison, and they get a great idea to set the room on fire so that the emergency doors would open. Needless to say, they quickly regretted that idea. And then the power went out! Yay! Many regrets later, it did pay off because the doors did open. And now they're in an elevator, and after all that excitement, they felt like they just need to continue that story. Back in the past, Barney's doing horribly, and Alice gets mad at Barney for it. Not knowing what else to do, Alice goes to the church, and she hears a person in there. After a long conversation about each other's backgrounds, whether or not she should put her son out of his misery, and such, the man suggests that she should go try talking to her husband at his fake grave. In this conversation with her husband, she yells at him, gets mad at him, just like she got mad at Barney, and just tries asking him what to do. And this is her decision. "Barney, how are you feeling, sweetie?" Oh God. Oh Christ. "Barney, sweetheart, your mummy's brave, fierce lion. You've made me happier than anyone else in this world. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry we brought you into this hell. You deserved better, Barney. We all did. Barney, I love you very much." And then we're back in the elevator. And after that really long elevator ride, we are in the lobby, I guess? They then figure out how to get past the lasers. And then they needed to get past the door with the keypad on it. It was at this time that Richard revealed that he had a deal with the owners of this place, and that if anything bad really happened, there would be somebody to help him get out. Richard, not being the smartest guy, forgets the code to the door. Alice then has the smart idea of looking in the back of his photo, and behold, there's the code. Whoop-de-doop, we solved the puzzle, we did it. When they got outside, Richard thought it was a great time to tell Alice something that his father told him back when he was young. And this was, "Richard, Brussels sprouts survive through the winter. Tomatoes turn to juice. Are you a tomato or a Brussels sprout?" If you don't remember, this was the thing that guy in the church said to Barney. So that makes Alice blame Richard for the deaths of a lot of people. For some reason, I don't know. That part always kind of confused me, but okay. And then Alice wanted to go and stop by where she buried her son to say goodbye. But hold on, she's got a gun! Yeah, well, needless to say, she shot Richard. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my summary of Richard and Alice. So yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye!